back to NaturalOne, the school assemblies of the D&D creator space. It's technically educational, but let's be honest. No one wants to be there, and half of you are falling asleep. Today, we're rocketing into Kansas cornfields and Kryptonian heritage to bring the last Son of Krypton into the world of 5e, Superman. If you love small-town boys with world-ending potential, disguises that fool exactly no one, and big speeches about truth and justice, this is the build for you. Let's begin.
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Let's be honest. Superman shouldn't fit in 5e. He's a walking deus ex machina in a cape who can bench press the plot. But since Wizards of the Coast hasn't published a god-tier Alien Boy Scout stat block yet, we're working with what we've got. Think Superman on a budget. Powerful, iconic, but not rewriting physics on a whim. We're starting with a 15 in strength. Obvious, right? He lifts trains, breaks chains, and occasionally punches planets into better orbits. It's not quite I bench the moon, but in 5e terms, it's still terrifying. Next, a 14 in charisma. Superman doesn't just inspire, he radiates hope. People trust him. Villains pause. Puppies wag their tails. He's not charming like a bard, he's the lead the Justice League without trying kind of charismatic. 13 in Constitution because he shrugs off bullets, survives space, and tanks enough explosions to make Michael Bay blush. He's not invincible, just really, really annoying to kill. Follow that up with a 12 in Dexterity, and this gives him the speed to dodge lasers, catch falling civilians, and land in that iconic 3-point pose without tearing his pants. He's fast. Not Blur of Light fast, but enough to make rogues jealous. He's got an okay 10 in Wisdom. Clark's got a solid moral compass, sure, but he's not perfect. He's just a human like you or me, and that's part of his charm. And finally, an 8 in Intelligence. Not because he's dumb, but because this isn't Science Lab, Fortress of Solitude Kal-El. I mean, he was raised on a farm in the middle of Kansas. Basically, think less Reed Richards, more Flying Golden Retriever.
My father once told me, it's not about what you can do, Clark. It's about what you choose to do. That's why I choose to protect this world.
Kryptonians aren't exactly a race in D&D terms, but Asimar fits best. Celestial beings infused with alien power. This gives Superman natural dark vision for those Earth Knights, celestial resistance to reflect his near invulnerability to energy attacks, and healing hands representing his rapid recovery. His innate light bearer ability captures that iconic Superman glow, while at level 3, Radiant Soul grants him the ability to fly at his full walking speed and add bursts of radiant damage to all of his attacks. Clark's heart will always be in small-town Kansas, which makes Folk Hero his ideal background. He's got the grit and know-how to connect with everyday people, skilled in animal handling and survival, because being raised on a farm teaches you a thing or two about both. His trusty truck means he's proficient with land vehicles, and naturally, he knows his way around cobbler's tools. Because what's a godlike superhero without godlike tool proficiencies?
Sometimes you feel like an outcast, but you'll never be alone.
We'll kick things off with Fighter, because if there's one thing Superman knows how to do, it's punch things really hard and somehow still be a pacifist. First level gives us unarmed fighting style, because we're not swinging swords, we're throwing haymakers with the force of a freight train. We also get Second Wind, a little reminder that Clark just doesn't stay down, even when the plot says he should. Grab athletics and perception, he's been doing farm chores since age 5 and can hear a kitten in distress 3 blocks away. Level 2, we pick up Action Surge, and now we're cooking with solar energy. 2 actions in 1 turn? That's the closest 5e gets to I move so fast I reverse time. It's how you get those iconic double punch save the day moments. Or at least finally lift the tractor off Pa Kent. Level 3 shifts gears into Bard, not because Clark sings, though now I want that episode, but because Bardic Inspiration is a solid stand-in for uplifting hope speech that makes Batman less grumpy. Also, magic, but whatever. We're keeping it thematic. Thunderclap gives us a sonic boom punch, Blade Ward is your bullets bounce off me mode, and utility spells like Featherfall, Heroism, Cure Wounds, and Healing Word are classic Superman moments. save someone, inspire someone, don't die falling out of the sky. Level 4 and another level in Bard gives us Jack of all trades, which is hilariously accurate for Superman. Journalist, farmer, savior, amateur philosopher, and he also gets Song of Rest, which is just a nice way of saying Superman's presence helps people recover from trauma way faster. Mechanically weird? Yeah, sure. Tonally perfect? Also yes. We had Longstrider here too, which gives him even more movement speed, because being fast matters when you're trying to outrun existential dread or an oncoming train. Bard level 3 gives us College of Swords, because when you're basically a human missile, you may as well pick the subclass that lets you weaponize style. Blade Flourish is where Superman's flashiness kicks in, knocking enemies away, boosting armor class with Radiant Flare, or doing that sweeping motion where he just clears the battlefield like it's a Sunday hay bale toss. We also get expertise in athletics and perception, which frankly feels overdue. He's been lifting heavy stuff and noticing trouble before it starts since the 1930s. Pick up Aid to represent those moments where Superman shows up and suddenly everyone stands a little straighter, fights a little harder, and starts believing again. This isn't the Snyder Cut after all. At Bard level 4 we take the Crusher feat, because when Superman punches someone into the stratosphere, they stay punched. Every bludgeoning hit lets us shove enemies around like we're rearranging furniture, and crits turn on advantage for everyone else. Pair that with a bump to strength to get it to an 18, and we're starting to hit like the last Son of Krypton should. For spells, Enhance Ability makes its appearance, turning Clark into even more of a skill monkey, or giving him temporary boosts like Bear's Endurance or Bull Strength when things get a little spicy. Also, Message joins the cantrip list because, yes, Superman absolutely has mental walkie-talkies with the Justice League. Jimmy Olsen included. Level 7 brings Font of Inspiration, meaning your bardic inspiration comes back on a short rest. So you can heroic speech your party through every fight like it's a season finale. And speaking of dramatic, thematic magic, let's talk about slow. No, we're not slowing ourselves down. This is how we simulate Superman moving so fast, the world looks like it's crawling. It's the mechanical way of saying he's operating on a different level, and it makes enemies feel like they're stuck in molasses while Clark is breezing past them in bullet time. At Bard level 6, we finally unlock Extra Attack. Now, Superman's throwing out haymakers 2 at a time, which is frankly the bare minimum for a guy who casually fistfights apocalypse tier threats. We also grab Motivational Speech, because nothing screams Man of Steel like inspiring your allies with heartfelt monologues and radiant optimism. Temporary hit points, wisdom save buffs, and disadvantage on the first hit taken. This spell is literally a speech bubble away from a comic panel. Level 9 nets us freedom of movement, which reads like someone tried to write Kryptonian physiology into spell form. No grapple, no restraint, no terrain issues. He's as uncontainable as you'd expect from a guy who shrugs off black holes and prison dimensions. And at Bard level 8, we boost Constitution to 16, making him tankier and giving those second wins and short rests even more punch. Also, we pick up Heat Metal, which feels off until you remember Superman does literally make guns melt just from sheer proximity when he's angry enough. Plus, it's a rare moment of mechanical fire damage that actually feels earned. At Bard level 9, we grab Skill Empowerment, which is just Enhance Ability's older, way more jacked brother. Now, Superman doesn't just get advantage, he gets expertise in any skill, making him a one-man montage. Need to infiltrate a LexCorp facility, wrangle a kryptonite-contaminated creature, or defuse a bomb while quoting Kansas values? Done. Instantly. And while it's a concentration spell, we're already playing the Superman has too many good buffs game, so just throw it into the pile.
That was my best friend. And you just killed him.
Level 12 is massive. First, we get expertise in animal handling, because Smallville values never die, and insight, because Clark sees through your lies before you can even tell them. Then, we grab True Strike as our third cantrip, because, obviously, it's the best cantrip in the game. Why roll when you can just look deeply into your enemy's soul and know where to punch? Don't question it. True Strike supremacy forever. But here's the real juice. Magical Secrets gives us the actual cape, spin, and zoom moment. We pick up Mage Armor because Superman doesn't wear armor. He is the Man of Steel after all. And most importantly, Haste. Because we needed a way to simulate Superman moving so fast, he basically breaks initiative order. More AC, more movement, more actions, It's the closest we'll get to him bouncing between satellites and speed punching Brainiac into submission. Bard level 11 grants us true seeing, which feels right on theme. X-ray vision, telescopic sight, peering through illusions. Superman should be the guy who sees through all the nonsense. No more shapeshifters sneaking into your party. No more invisible assassins. If he looks at you funny, you're probably already caught. At Bard level 12, we finally bump Charisma to 16, making his speeches hit harder, his saves tighter, and his presence even more undeniable. Because when Superman talks, people listen. Whether it's a rousing speech mid-battle or just telling someone, you're better than this. That +3 matters. And then we hit Bard level 13, and it's time to cash in on pure narrative flex. Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion. Or as we call it here, the Fortress of Solitude. Need a place to regroup, recharge, or keep dangerous artifacts away from mortal hands? Done. You've got a hidden fortress in the tundra with invisible servants and food that tastes like Ma Kent made it. Superman has never felt more at home in the multiverse. Bard level 14, we get Master's Flourish, which lets us use a D6 instead of burning Bardic Inspiration for our blade flourishes. This effectively means Superman now gets his extra punch, knockback, or AC boost every round, no questions asked. And with Magical Secrets, we snag Cone of Cold, because we finally get to breathe ice on people. And Sunbeam, which is just radiant laser eyes, full stop. You want heat vision? We got you sun vision. Level 17 brings us Teleport, because Superman doesn't walk to danger. He hears a scream across the globe and arrives. Mechanically, it's a 500-mile blink. Thematically, it's that moment in every comic where someone says, "How did you get here so fast?" And he just smirks. At level 18, we take an ability score improvement for a +2 in strength, maxing it out at a 20. Now we've got the mechanical muscle to match the myth. Peak human potential, no magic required. We're not quite punching through time, but it's enough to punch a Tarask into orbit. Level 19 drops Foresight into our lap, which is basically Superman's precognition, battle instincts, and invulnerability to ambushes all in one. Advantage on everything, disadvantage for enemies attacking you, and it lasts 8 hours. Want to feel like you're literally untouchable? Here you go. And finally, level 20. We finish strong, literally, with 2 last magical secrets. Wish, because of course he gets Wish. Superman doesn't ask reality for permission, he makes it better. And invulnerability, which turns him into actual Superman for 10 rounds. Immunity to all damage, full God mode, plot armor, you can cast. Combine that with foresight, haste, and heroism, and you're a glowing celestial demigod who shrugs off nukes, heals allies, and blasts laser beams out of his eyes.
I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting.
If there's one thing power scaling can't defeat, it's this guy. Let's see why he's called Superman and not Average Man. He's near impossible to kill. This guy's basically a walking tank wrapped in a solar-powered bubble. Mage armor and a ton of ways to boost your defenses mean you're not getting hit much, but if you do, motivational speech and heroism slap on temp HP like a kryptonite repellent. And aid gives more hit points. Freedom of movement says grapples? Nah, not today. Then you layer on invulnerability or foresight at the big boss level, and suddenly you're the party's personal plot armor. And he's breaking reality with his action economy. With action surge, haste, extra attack, and bard spells that all stack up to make Superman the guy doing everything, every turn. He's punching bad guys, inspiring allies, and zipping around like he's late for breakfast at the Daily Planet. If I Win This Fight was a stat block, this build would be it. He's also a skill monkey supreme. I mean, a small town farm kid with a cape? Yeah, sure, but also a walking encyclopedia of how to win any skill check. Jack of all trades, expertise in athletics and insight, plus skill empowerment means Superman is the party's one-stop shop for all things useful outside of combat. Need to talk your way past LexCorp security or wrangle a rampaging kryptonite beast? He's got it covered. And we have to talk about the magical secrets, because this build doesn't pick a lane, it picks every lane. You want to freeze things with Cone of Cold? Check. Radiate laser beams with Sunbeam? Also check. Teleport across continents before your coffee even begins to cool? Check again. And when things get really rough, wish and invulnerability turn you into the literal man of godlike steel. Superman might not be able to punch through dimensions, but with these spells, he's pretty darn close. Look, this build tries hard, but it falls short in a ton of ways. He's just not Superman. Superman is perfect. I wish there was something that I could do about it. I wish he had multiple 9th level spell slots. One just isn't enough here, honestly. I wish he could keep all his buffs and concentration spells going at once. I wish his stats were maxed out across the board, no compromises. I wish he could fly at light speed without spinning actions. I wish this YouTube channel would actually have a video do well. Like, really well. Like, really, really well. I wish that you watching this video right now actually liked the video instead of just scrolling away. I wish his saving throws were actually godlike. I wish my parents still loved each other. I wish he could punch through dimensions or stop time and do whatever the hell he needs to do at any time, because that's what Superman is. When the plot calls for it, that's what he is. I wish I could build him with all his iconic powers, not this half-measured box-contained D&D nonsense. I just wish I could... Wait a minute. I wish. Alright, that's our take on Superman in 5e. Flawed, ambitious, and definitely not perfect. If you've got ideas for who we should rip into the D&D system next, or just want to say hi, drop a comment below. Please let me know if any of your DMs let you actually get away with using Wish, or if you've just ever gotten to use it before. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the chaos. You can grab this build and every other one for free on Patreon, because, yes, we're that generous. Thanks for sticking around, and until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.